Special thanks to Patreon supporter ZPro Warfare for making this tutorial possible. Hello ladies and gentlemen, Stryker here, bringing you another Minecraft Modern Warfare vehicle tutorial. In this tutorial we'll be going ahead and building the M1133 Medical Evacuation Vehicle, known more simply by Stryker MEV. The Medical Evacuation Vehicle, MEV, are assigned to Battalion Aid Station for battalion-sized units and dedicated to each of the company-sized elements of the unit and provide treatment for serious injury and advanced trauma cases. So basically all this is a vehicle based on the Stryker chassis, pretty much the Stryker in general, designed to actually be a kind of ambulance in a sort of way to be able to transport and treat more critically injured troops on the battlefield. Overall, pretty interesting type vehicle here, and really much like our rest of our Strykers here, it's pretty straightforward, and really the main difference you're going to have here for this is just a box on the back here, which is where they would put the wounded troops. And yeah, that's pretty much the main gist of the vehicle. Pretty interesting one, and should be a good one to go with the convoys. We've been doing a lot of Stryker variants over the course of the past few months, so we're definitely building up a good little Stryker company that you'll be able to have a lot of variety with, being able to incorporate into many different scenarios and all that stuff. And the more Strykers we add, the more just kind of intricate and complex little armies you can start to build up. But anyways, before we go and take a look at this build, I want to go and give special thanks to Patreon supporter ZPro Warfare for making this tutorial possible. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel, where you guys already do, feel free to check my Patreon page. Link is always in my video descriptions, where you can go ahead and pledge just a small amount to the channel every month, and in doing so, earn a vehicle request you're choosing. Really helps support the work I do on my channel, and is obviously very greatly appreciated. So if you are interested, definitely feel free to check that out. Again, links always in my video descriptions. With that though, let's go ahead and dive in here to take a look here at the M1133. And see exactly what we're going to be building. So obviously, we have the same Stryker chassis we've been using here, so nothing too different about that or changed. But up here we do have the little markings here. There will be a red cross usually located on the front of the vehicle here. Obviously, we only have a block to work with, so we just have the brick slab there to represent that. All the various detailing stuff like that for the front here. The driver's little hatches and stuff right there, and basically all the detailing up here on top. One main difference you're going to see here is that instead of having a turret on the vehicle, they were usually equipped with smoke grenade dispensers, as I believe it is actually technically supposed to be that medical units are not supposed to be actually armed. So I don't know how true that is, but at least from my knowledge, I think that's how it works. But it just has basically a kind of automated smoke grenade dispenser up on top there to help provide cover for it as it can evac areas and stuff like that. We have all the detail on top here, just a bunch of various little instruments and, cargo and stuff like that. Obviously, being a medical unit probably carries a lot of different cargo for medical reasons and, all that stuff. As we approach the back here, we obviously have the red cross here on both sides, signifying it's definitely a medical ambulance. Again, detail here all over. A little light there on the back, and obviously the rear here doors that would be able to open up and allow wounded to be transferred in or out of the vehicle. So overall, pretty nice build. Should be a fun addition to your Stryker family of vehicles. And without further ado, let's go and move into the tutorial by beginning with our first layer. Alright guys, going ahead and move it into our first layer here. I'm going ahead and start off with layer 1. For layer 1 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down 2 polished black stone stairs, just like this, back to back to each other from like that. We're going to then place down a stone brick top slab, iron trapdoor, stone brick top slab, and then another 2 polished black stone stairs, back to back like so. After that, we're going to go and do the same thing for stairs here. So again, 2 polished black stone stairs back to back like this on both sides. And we then want to go ahead and take our stone brick top slabs again on the insides here of these stairs here. We're going to place down our stone brick top slabs and the iron trapdoor right there. At this point here, we're going to skip a space of 2, and we're going to then place down another set of upside down polished black stone stairs. Same thing over here as well. And we want to then go in between the polished black stone upside down stairs and place down an iron trapdoor. Then after that, we're going to then place down another stone brick upside down stair here to both sides, just like that. Followed by a stone brick top slab here, iron trapdoor, and another stone brick top slab, just like that. After that is all done there, that's going to pretty much wrap up what we have there for layer 1. Pretty straightforward and simple layer. Looking at from above here, this is what we should have for the base. And with that, we'll go ahead and move into our next layer, layer number 2. Alright guys, going ahead and move into our next layer here, we have layer number 2. For layer 2 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to go and go to the top here of these polished black stone upside down stairs, and we're just going to go and place down 2 stairs back to back on top of these upside down stairs, just like this, to go ahead and basically form our wheels. And we're going to go and do this for all 8 wheels around the vehicle. So just like this. After that, we then want to go and place down an anvil on top of each one of these iron trapdoors. And we're going to then place down a stone brick wall to both sides of the anvils like that on those stone brick top slabs. Once we get to this point here, we're going to then grab ourselves some green terracotta. We're going to place down a row 3 of green terracotta coming off the direction you want the front facing. So we're going to have the front facing this way. So we're going to place down a row 3 of green terracotta, followed by a second row of 3, and then a zombie head to both sides of that row 3. We're going to then place down a row 3 of dark oak with top slabs across, and then an item frame on those 2 top slabs to the sides, followed by a tripwire hook in the item frames, rotated so that they're hanging downwards like so. After that, we're going to go and take our green terracotta, place down a row 3 across, followed by a second row of 3, and then a third row right here. A dark oak with top slab on both sides of this row right here. We then want to go ahead and place down another row 3 down the middle here. So 1, 2, 3. And then going to the back here, we're going to place down a row 3 as well. And then a second row 3 going back. At this point here, we're going to go and grab dark oak wood stairs. We're going to place down a dark oak wood upside down stair to both sides like so. And coming off that upside down stair, we're going to place down a dark oak wood upside down corner stair. We then want to go ahead and grab an end rod. We're going to place down an end rod that's going to be in the middle space between these 2 corner stairs. And then to both sides of that end rod, we're going to go ahead and place down a zombie head like so. After that, we want to go ahead and then place down an item frame coming off these upside down dark oak wood stairs. And we're going to go ahead and then place down a tripwire hook in those item frames so that they are hanging downwards like so. After that is all complete there, that is going to pretty much wrap up the structure here for this layer 2. We're going to go and grab some materials we'll need to make the banners here for these wheels. So I'll be right back in a second. I'm going to grab those materials and I'll be back here to show you guys how to make those banners. Alright guys, so going ahead and moving into making these banners. They're really simple to do. We're going to need a loom, 2 black banners, 2 green dye, and 4 black dye. To get started with here, we're going to place down a loom. We're going to go into the loom. We're going to place down our black banners. And we're going to place down our green dye. We're going to start off by going ahead and doing a line of green dye over here on the left side. And we want to go then do a line of green dye over here to the right side. We're going to take these 2 banners, put them back into our loom, and we're going to go and then take our black and black dye, and we're going to do a line horizontally across the top and a line horizontally across the bottom to go ahead and create this C. And then the same thing for this banner here, just going to be a backwards C for this one. So we get 2 banners that look just like this, and very simply, they're just going to go ahead and go on the sides of these 2 polished black stone stairs like that, with the green portion facing toward each other, to go ahead and make your wheels. I think it's a nice little detail bit, kind of makes the wheels look a little bit more beefier, but also gives the wheels a little bit more detail in terms it actually looks like it has like a little bit of a rim there to it. But anyways, that right there is going to conclude what we have there for layer number 2 for the build. And with that, let's move on to layer number 3. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we have layer number 3. For layer 3 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to go and go to each one of these stone brick walls, and we're just going to place down one more stone brick wall that goes up like this for each one of these walls. So just like this going up, and then in between these walls here, we're just going to place down a green terracotta block, like so. At this point here, we're going to go and start off by going to our front on top of these dark oak top slabs. We're going to place down a row 3 of green terracotta, followed by a second row of 3 back, and then a third row like so. After that, we want to then go to the front here, and we're going to place down one row 3 of green terracotta coming off the front here. We're going to place down an item frame, which will be on the left side, so the left side of the vehicle here. And we're going to place down a white bed in the item frame, rotating on its side. At this point right here, if you're on Java Edition, we can go ahead and place down a dark oak wood sign over or on the side of the block of the green terracotta with the item frame still there. If you're on Bedrock, you're not able to do this feature, putting signs and item frames in the same block space. If that's the case, then just go ahead and do the item frame and disregard the signs. However, for everybody, we can go ahead and place down 2 dark oak wood signs that go to the side there from that item frame. So it should look like this if you're on Java, like this probably if you're on Bedrock. Either way will work. After this, we're going to go ahead and place down a green stained glass pane to both sides like so. And we're going to go ahead and place down 2 mossy cobblestone walls back from that green stained glass pane. We're going to go ahead and place down a dark oak wood upside down stair to both sides. And after that, we're going to then place down a dark oak wood top slab coming off the front of that stair. We then want to place down a row 3 of green terracotta across the space here, and then a dark oak wood top slab to both sides, as well as a dark oak wood top slab going back on both sides of this stone brick wall. We then want to place down a narrow green terracotta block, or narrow row 3 of green terracotta going across here, this time with an upside down dark oak wood stair like this to both sides, so its back is facing backwards. And we're going to then take our green terracotta and place down a row of 5 going across here like that. We then want to place down a narrow dark oak wood upside down stair to both sides here. And then in the middle space here, a row 3 of green terracotta, a dark oak wood top slab to both sides there. and another dark oak wood top slab coming off the side here of these stone brick walls. We then want to place down another row of 3 of green terracotta across, this time with a dark oak wood top slab again to both sides. We're going to go then place down a row of 5 of green terracotta across. On both ends of this row of 5, we're going to place down an item frame. And then in that item frame, we're going to place down a tripwire hook and have it rotated so it's hanging downwards, like this on both sides. One thing I also want to mention is over here on the right side, or sorry, the left side only, we're going to place down a dark oak wood fence gate, coming off the side here of this green terracotta block. So that's going to be on the left side, and again, the left side only of the vehicle. Anyways, going to the back here, continuing on, we're going to place down a dark oak wood stair on top of these 2 here. We then want to place down a dark oak wood sign on the side here of these stairs, like so. Then we're going to go and place down an item frame coming off the fronts here of the stairs. In those item frames, we're going to go and place down apples for the bright lights. And again, if you're on Java, we can go and place down a dark oak wood fence gate coming off the item frame and opened up toward the stair, like so on both sides. And that's a Java only feature. Again, you can't put an item frame in a block in the same block space on Bedrock. Anyways, after that's done, we want to go and then place down a green stained glass pane here, followed by a granite wall to both sides, just like that. And after that's all done there, that is going to pretty much wrap up what we have there for layer number 3 for the build. Taking a look at it from above, this is what it should look like from the top-down view. Again, note that one difference there on the left side compared to the right side. And these next few layers, we are going to get into a lot of differences being on both sides, so just make sure you're paying close attention as we get into these differences and all that fun stuff. But with that, let's go ahead and move into our next layer, layer number 4. Alright guys, so going ahead and moving into our next layer here, we have layer number 4. For layer 4 to go ahead and get started with, you're going to place down an anvil on top of this green terracotta block here, followed by a zombie head coming off and facing toward the front. After that, to the right side here, we're going to place down a brick slab, and then over here to the left side, we're going to place down a dark oak wood slab. We then want to grab ourselves some dark oak wood buttons, and we're going to place down a dark oak wood button on these 2 green terracotta blocks like so. At this point here, we're going to then place down a dark oak wood fence gate, which is going to be coming off the side of these slabs here, and opened up toward the slabs like this to both sides. We're going to go then grab ourselves an item frame, and we're going to place down an item frame coming off those fence gates like so, and in those item frames, we're going to place down snowballs like that. After that's all done, we're going to then take our dark oak wood stairs, we're going to place down a row of 3 of dark oak wood stairs across, and then a dark oak wood corner stair in both sides there. We then want to take our green terracotta, we're going to place down a narrow row of 3 across, this time with an item frame on both sides like so. And we're going to go then place down a tripwire hook in the item frame like that, facing upwards. We're going to go then place down another row of 3, or sorry, another row of 5 of green terracotta across. And we want to go then place down a second row of 5 after that. And then once we get to this point, we're going to place down 2 rows of 3. And to the sides here of both ends, we're going to go ahead and put, or both sides, we're going to place down 2 green shulker boxes like so. Now at this point here, we do have some differences on our sides, so we're going to start with the left side. We're going to place down 2 dark oak wood buttons, followed by an item frame. And we're going to go ahead and then place down a iron bar right here, coming off the side of the item frame. Over here on the right side, this is basically what we have set up here, and what we can do here to add some detail in this section is to place down 2 stripped birchwood logs, which are kind of sideways along the side there. And then we can go ahead and take some stone buttons and wrap them around the bottom here and the top there of those blocks like that for basically what holds it on there, and just to kind of add some extra cargo there to the side of the vehicle. Now this isn't completely necessary, you don't have to add this if you don't want to, but just kind of trying to add some extra detail and stuff like that based off some pictures of real versions of this vehicle I was researching. At this point though, we're going to then place down a narrow row of 3 of green terracotta across. Over here on the left side, we're going to place down a dark oak wood fence gate that goes up from this one. Then over here on the right side, we're going to take our green stained glass panes. We're going to place down a row of 1, 2, 3 glass panes there along the side for a little kind of, you know, kind of little rack here to put equipment and all that stuff. And this is something that is on the vehicle, so I would recommend adding it for that accuracy. After this, we're going to then place down additional 3 rows of 5 going back. So we have 1, 2, and 3. On the left side here, we're going to go ahead and grab our green stained glass panes. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3 over here on the left side. To the right side here, we're going to place down a stripped birchwood block. And we're going to then take our mossy cobblestone walls and place down 1 and 2. And this is on the left side of the vehicle. So this is actually part of the structure. This isn't any extra detail or anything like that. This is actually part of the structure. It sticks out to the side there. After this, we're going to go ahead and then grab ourselves some white concrete. We're going to place down 2 white concrete blocks going back on the sides here. And then in the space in between them, we're going to place down green terracotta. After we have that done, we want to go then place down a mossy cobblestone wall to both sides like so. and a dark oak wood sign coming off the side of the wall, like this. Same thing over here. And we're going to go ahead and place down a green shulker box on top of these fence gates like that. After that, we want to go ahead and take our dark oak wood signs, and we're just going to go ahead and wrap it around these shulker boxes. So just like that. And in the space in the middle here, we're going to place down a green stained glass pane and then a granite wall here to both sides of that green stained glass pane. And after we have that all complete there, that is going to pretty much wrap up what we have there for layer number 4. Looking at from up above here, this we should have so far for this layer. And with that, that's pretty much going to wrap it up. With that, let's move into our next layer, layer number 5. Alright guys, going ahead and moving into our next layer, we have layer number 5. For layer 5, to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to go ahead and begin by placing down a dark oak wood slab on top of this block here. To the left side, followed by an item frame coming off of it, a black bed in the item frame, rotate on its side like so. And again, if you're on Java, a dark oak wood sign on the side of the slab. Going back from this slab, we're going to place down another slab back, and then we're going to go then take a green zombie head and place it down here to both sides of this slab at a slight angle. And we're also going to place down a zombie head like that to both sides as well. Once we have that done, we're going to place down a dark oak wood slab over here to the right side, followed by a polished blackstone stair right here on top of that, next to that slab. And we're going to place down an iron frame on the side and top of the stair. And we're going to place down iron bars in those item frames. After that, we're going to then place down a row of 2 of dark oak wood buttons. Again, if you're on bedrock, you'll not be able to place the button here in front of this item frame. If that's the case, just place down the item frame and place down the one button there. But if you're on Java, we can place it down on both sides there. At this point here, we then want to go ahead and grab ourselves some anvils. We're going to place down 2 anvils here on the side, followed by a dark oak wood sign on the side. And we want to then take our stairs, and we're going to place down a row of stair right here, back from this anvil, and then a corner stair to the side. We're going to go then place down 1 and 2 more stairs over, and another corner stair like that. Once we have that done, we're going to then take our stairs. We're going to place down a dark oak wood stair here, coming off this anvil, a dark oak wood slab here, and then a green terracotta block going back from the stair. After that, we're going to then place down 2 mossy cobblestone walls here to the side, just like that. Continuing on, we want to go then grab a dark oak wood sign, and over here to the right side, we're going to place down a dark oak wood sign here. And at this point, we're going to go and then take our green terracotta, place down a row of 3 across the center, a mossy cobblestone wall on both ends, just like this. We're going to go and then do our next row here, which is going to be a mossy cobblestone wall on the left side, going back, followed by a stripped spruce wood block, and then 1 and 2 green terracotta, and then another mossy cobblestone wall. We then want to place down another mossy cobblestone wall on the left side here, another stripped spruce wood block, 2 green terracotta blocks over, and another mossy cobblestone wall. At this point here, on the sides, we want to go ahead and start off on the left side here. We're going to place down a row of 3 of green stained glass panes coming off those 3 mossy cobblestone walls. And over here to the right side here, we're going to place down 2 cut sandstone slabs here, and a birchwood up down stair as extra optional detail. And just so we don't have to worry about it later, we'll place down a lever here on top of the stair and have it flicked toward the center there of the vehicle, like so. At this point here, we're going to then take a green terracotta. We're going to place down 2 rows of 5 going across, so 1 and 2. Over here on the left side, we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves an item frame. We're going to place down an item frame here on this first row of 5, and then in that item frame, like we've been doing, we're going to take a tripwire hook, place it in the item frame, and we're going to have the tripwire hook hanging so it's facing downwards like so. And then over here on the right side, we're going to go ahead and just place down 2 more mossy cobblestone walls on top of those 2 right there. At this point here, we're going to place down a row of 3 of green terracotta across the center here, followed by a second row of 3, and then white concrete blocks on both ends of those rows. We're also going to place down a mossy cobblestone wall going up from these walls here in the corners, item frame on the side here, and then a tripwire hook in the item frame rotated so it's facing downwards like so. And same thing over here as well. So just like this, facing downwards like so. After that, we want to go ahead and place down a dark oak wood, a row of 3 of green terracotta across between those walls, and a dark oak wood button to the both sides there. And then a zombie head, which is going to go on top of these shulker boxes like that to both sides. Once we have that all complete, that's pretty much it for the basic structure here for this layer. Just trying to make sure I didn't miss anything, and everything appears to be good for the most part, except here on the front we are going to do a little bit of a detail bit that is going to involve using a debug stick. So if you have access to a debug stick, definitely go ahead and grab it at this time. If you do not, then you'll have to find an alternative for making these, but really there are some alternatives you can use. However, this technique is obviously the best one to use. We're going to place down a block, which is going to go on top of these 2 slabs here, and we're going to go to the sides of these blocks and we're going to place down a lever. So just like this. And we want to go then use our debug stick here, and we're going to go and change the face of the lever to go ahead and be to the floor. Same thing over here. We can then activate these levers, or actually we can't actually activate that, so we'll actually have to use this stick to manually rotate them, which isn't a problem. So I'm going to go and do the same thing here, and then I'm going to go ahead and manually rotate them so that they're facing to the sides. So just like this. And then at this point here, I'm going to go ahead and then place down a zombie head coming off the sides here of the wall, or those levers, just like that. And that's really all you need to do for that. And one thing also that we're going to do here is place down a dark oak fence post on top of this corner stair here on the left side. And with that all out of the way, that right there is going to pretty much wrap up this layer here. And with that is going to wrap up layer 5. And with that, let's go and move into our final layers. Alright guys, go ahead and move into our next layer where we're going to move into layers 6 through 11. For these layers to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to go ahead and place down a row of 2 of polished blackstone slabs on top of those anvils, followed by a second row of 2 Draco behind those. After that, we're going to go ahead and place down a dark oak fence post right here. And then going up from the fence post, we're going to take our iron bars and we're just going to place down 1, 2, 3, and 4 iron bars up like that. After we have that done, we're going to then place down a mossy cobblestone wall. That's going to go on top of this wall right here. And we then want to go ahead and place down a polished blackstone slab coming off of it like so, toward the front. Actually, sorry, it's going to be a top slab. And we're going to then place down a wither skeleton skull coming off both sides of this top slab like so. After that, we then want to go ahead and place down a skeleton or a zombie head on top of this wall here. We're going to place down a dark oak fence gate here in the middle, and then coming off the wall facing toward the back here. And we're going to go then place down a polished blackstone wall that is going to be coming off both sides of this fence gate like that. We're going to then place down a dark oak fence gate or dark oak sign coming off the fence gate, and we're going to go ahead and then place down a wither skeleton skull on both sides of this zombie head. Once we have this done, we're going to then place down a dark oak fence post that's going to go on top of this green terracotta block here, and we're going to place down a second fence post up from it, followed by a zombie head on top of this fence post like that. Once we have that done, we're going to then place down a dark oak slab going back from the wall, one here, and then one going back from an angle, and then one right here in this spot. And that middle space there, we're going to then place down a spruce wood slab like so. After that, we're going to then place down a zombie head at about a 45-degree angle there in the corners, like that, around this section here. And then taking our dark oak signs, we're going to place down the side on the side of the slab, and also the side of the wall, and over here, the side of the slab like that. We then want to take our green terracotta, we're going to place down a row of 3 across the center here, so just like this. And after that, we're going to then place down a second row of 3, going back on both sides there. And we can go ahead and then grab some of our blocks here and do some of our detailing. So for this, we're going to go and place down a cut sandstone slab on top of this wall, and then a stripped birchwood log that goes back like so. And on the sides of the log, we can go ahead and place down a stone button. So this side here, and this side like that. And we can also place down 2 spruce wood slabs back along the side there. And along the side of those spruce wood slabs, we're going to go and place down spruce wood signs. So just like that. And then over here on the right side as well, we want to go and then take our stripped birchwood, and we're going to place down 2 blocks like that along the side there. And we're going to take our stone buttons and wrap them around the block like that. This point here on the back, we're going to place down a dark oak sign here, followed by 2 stripped birchwood logs over. We're going to then place down 2 dark oak slabs, a spruce wood slab, or actually sorry, 3 dark oak slabs, and then a spruce wood slab to the right side here, spruce wood sign there on the side of it like so. And then over here on the left side, we're going to place down a green carpet on top of that white concrete block. We then want to place down a dark oak fence post on top of these 2 walls here, and in the space in between those fence posts, we're going to place down 3 daylight detectors. We also want to place down a lantern that's going to go on top of this fence post to the left side here, and we're going to then place down 5 iron bars going up from this fence post over here to the right side. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 going up like that for the radio antenna. Then up on top here, we're going to go and place down 2 spruce wood slabs like this across the top. We're going to take our spruce wood signs and wrap around the sides of the spruce wood slabs like so. And we also want to place down an item frame here on top of this green terracotta block with a green terracotta block in the item frame like so. And with that all complete, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to grab some materials to make some banners. I'm going to show you guys how to make this little red cross on the side of the banner here, which is pretty simple to do. And with that, that'll pretty much complete our tutorial. So with that, let me go ahead and grab the materials, and I'll be back in a sec to show you guys how to make those banners. Alright guys, so go ahead and move into making these banners here. They're super simple to make. We're just going to need our loom, obviously, 2 red banners and 4 white dye. We're going to start off by going ahead and going into our loom. We're going to take our red banner and our white dye. We're going to go and start off by going ahead and for our first banner, we're going to go and select the square here in the bottom left hand corner, and then we're going to go and then select the square in the top left hand corner like that to go ahead and create this like so. We then want to go ahead and do the same thing for this banner, so except it's going to be the opposite, so bottom right corner and top right corner, just like that. After that's all done, we want to go and then take these banners, and very simply we're going to go to the white concrete blocks here to the side, and we're just going to place down our white banners like this along the sides there. And that's all you need to do there for that red cross there, and with that, that is going to pretty much wrap up my tutorial here for the M1133 Medical Evacuation Vehicle, or the Stryker MEV. Anyways guys, hope you guys do enjoy this tutorial and are able to put it to good use, as long as you guys give me proper credit for the build, or if you're using it for projects you guys are working on, overall have fun with it and all that fun stuff. As always, big special thanks to Patreon supporter ZPro Warfare for making this tutorial possible, and as always, feel free to check my Patreon page, link is always in my video descriptions. With that, thank you guys again so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Garrett 204, and I'll see you guys next time.